and welcome to the webinar on leveraging AI in procurement. So when we talk of word procurement, we all understand procurement involves many complex activities: supplier selections, negotiations, contract management, risk management, all goes on. But if you look traditionally, all of this involves not a manual process. Even if you got ERP, but still the sourcing part is still going on manually. Contract management is going on manually. So in short, I would say around procurement traditionally involves a lot of manual process and human interaction. Now AI is there to help us. And the reason being, if you look back in the last 2 decades, procurement has evolved from very traditional SOP type, has moved to 2-tier function. 2-tier means one is operative, other is strategy. Operative means like P2P, many of you are conversant. So you have an operative function. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Strategic, where you're making a long-term decisions, like category management, strategic sourcing. So the operative part is becoming, with the time to come, AI is taking over a lot of it. Strategic decision also, on the spend side, AI is also playing a big role. So in short, I would say AI has become very prominent in the last few years around. So what we are doing around is a journey towards enhanced efficiency and insights. Because AI helps us to get the insights around. Now, what I plan to cover up in this 1-hour session, and then followed by your question answers. Overview of AI in procurement. What exactly AI does in procurement? Why do we need it? Will it change our job? Will it take over our job? We'll cover all that. Understanding AI technology. There are many AI technologies. So AI is a very broad terminology, but within that, we've got a wide range of technology. Application of AI in procurement. So you have AI, but how do I apply AI in procurement? So I'll certainly go through some scenarios in different activities around. I'll try to give you 2 case studies, where one for the service sector, other for the manufacturing. And they're the real world examples around. So this is not I've created around, I've taken the summary of those cases around. Challenges, certainly any change you want to bring around, there are challenges. So challenges and considerations. Suppose we want to implement, what should we do? What steps we should take around? So this is what we plan to cover up in a 1 hour's time. Let's start with the era part. How has procurement evolved? Historically, procurement dates back to 1862 from the pyramid time. The book was written down in 1862 or 1882, that's what I'm mixing up maybe. It was mentioned about the pyramid. At that time, it was called as a materials man. Later on during the, again, Roman Empire. So this profession has been going on. But here I'm showing you from 1916 till now. In 16, the procurement became a part of a commercial function. Then slowly this has been evolving. And then now what we evolved around is a digital supply. So today, if I look around, procurement has become to a lot extent digital. Now from the digital, we are moving into generative AI basis. Now, this is the way I'm trying to summarize the whole thing, that era part, strategic procurement. It started from 1983, when Peter Kralzik wrote something that each procurement is not same. And he divided the procurement based on risk and spend into 2x2 matrix. So we came with the strategic procurement. And I had a chance to use these concepts around from 1990s beginning. Then later on, they evolved to e-procurement. So now the next stage came was the e-procurement, electronic procurement. Now, ERP is not e-procurement, and that covers few parts of procurement, but is not end-to-end connected. It's not a portal for procurement. Yes, it has some app for procurement activity like requisition, purchase orders, payment, but is not connected end-to-end. So e-procurement came around where we have ERFX, we have e-auction, we have a spend queue, we have e-contract management, e-catalog, all of those things. Now this one has evolved now to digital. So when we say of Industrial Revolution 4.0, so we are moving toward digital. Now, digital procurement, which is also called Industry 4.0, or Procurement 4.0, has got wide range of technologies. And I'll try to show you those technologies also. This is what we are saying, digitalization. So we have a 3D printing, AI, augmented reality, big data. So in today's session, what we are focusing is on artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence cannot work without big data. You need a data. So the data is still the foundation for all this and artificial intelligence. In one word, I would say, artificial intelligence is nothing but a formula. But again, when I say formulas, but then if you say, I want to do something, I want to find the area of something. The radius is so much, what is the area of the circle? So you have a formula. But that formula is one thing. But here what we do around is, we have a step of activities around. And then each activity, they say, guys, the flowchart thing. Is it okay? Is it matching with it? If not matching, go this way. If it is matching, go this way. If this is not okay, then go this way. So we have a formula for each step. I'll be explaining a little further. So we have all this here. And we'll be also talking of Internet of Things, because that helps us to collect the data. Now, AI versus digital. So some of you may be thinking around AI is different, digital is no. AI is an integral and transformative element within the realm of digital technology. So digital technology, the way I showed you, there are many. It is capabilities to process data intelligently, automate the task, enhance the user experience. It makes the cornerstone in the evolution. So when we look at the evolution of procurement, I think AI has taken a big turnaround, particularly from the last years when ChatGPT came around. In 2023, when ChatGPT came, this became much more visible. AI has been from 1950. Even during the college time, when I was studying in 70s also, we had AI concept there itself. But now it has become much more visible, I would say, just in the last few years, and particularly after the ChatGPT. So if you look at the trend wave, the width of integration and degree of process automation. In 70s, we had MRP, for bill of materials and all this. MRP1, MRP2, then we moved to ERP. And now from ERP, we are going to e-procurement. Now, many people have still not developed, used ERP, e-procurement. ERP, I could say all of you have it. But e-procurement, which is the next step, many have missed out. They may have one part of it. They may have e-sourcing, but we want e-contract management. So we want everything connected in a one portal end to it. So once the data is there, then I switched over to procurement. And all the digital technology which you saw in the previous slide can be useful here. So now coming back to again AI, AI at its core is the development of algorithm. Algorithm, in a simple word, if I have to say, in a very basic level, like a formula. Yes, but that formula is, again, iterative process. It has a flow chart. It is not just the formula. So it has formulas. It gives you some answers. Then it says, if it is not matching, what to do. If I change the formulas again, if it doesn't match, what should I do? It goes in a very iterative process. So in principle, yes, is a formula that enables what? The machines. So when I say the machines, mean hardware. Hardware could be your mobile phone is also hardware. Anything where I put this AI part around, the programming of the AI around, it could be in the mobile phone, it could be in the laptop, it could be a separate equipment around, or it could be robotic around. So that's what we're looking around. In the hardware, when we put AI, it does the function on the same way, step by step. Step 1, do this. If it matches, go to the step 2. If it doesn't match, go to step 3. If it doesn't match, then go backward. So all that formulas are built based on that. Now, these algorithms can process large amount of data. So these algorithms, if I say in a very simple word, you have Alexa, most of you are conversant, millions of songs, and you say, I want this song of 1960s, 1970, 80, it picks it up. The speed is much faster. So there is a formula built in. Somebody has made the algorithm. The moment you tell the name, it picks up with the first letter, a few words in the beginning, and turn the song around. Siri, you have, and again, iPhones around. It also understands your language around. So these algorithms process large amount of data. Their speeds are much faster than our brain in terms of processing. Now, what these algorithms do around is they learn. They reason. Why, this guy asked me to do this. Okay, I learned it. Then the next thing comes is the reason part. Does it match? Then make a decision. So 3 parts all AI do around. They learn, they reason, make decisions. AI systems can be classified in 2 broad areas. One is a narrow AI, other one is a general AI. Now, the narrow AI, the application which we're talking around, is still belonging to narrow AI. All the applications which we have been talking around today for procurement, they all belong to narrow AI. But the next general AI, I know Google and other people, they are working on it, AGI. So, but they're all part of, AI is part of digital tech. So if sometimes you say, no, digitalization is not separate. So I could say around once I go to e-procurement, I create the data. Now that data is being now, again, massaged into that and then come with the right answers. Narrow AI is designed for specific tasks. You want the voice recognition. You want image classifications. You want general AI aims to replicate human thought. This one, which we are using now, the narrow AI, has a very limited cognitive. But if you want them to be like human being, they can have complete cognitive part, take a final decisions. That general AI is still in the process of maturity. So AI, as I said to you, is a sequence of instructions that a computer must perform to solve a well-defined problem. So in short, what it does around, it sorts it. I want computer to find, I got a database of millions of suppliers, and I'm looking for a supplier to manufacture, to provide me supplier of speaker, audio speaker, radio speaker, made in so-and-so place, specification with this one. It can pick and give me the answer. So it can sort it, it can search it, it can analyze it. That's what it is. So algorithm can instruct a computer how to perform the task, process the data, and make a decision. So ultimately, you have to keep in mind, you spell it out what exactly you got the 5 offers around, you want them to evaluate it. But then if you're given the criteria to this, so based on the criteria, they will make a formulas, and then it can analyze it and then tell you which one is the best one offered. So best way to think of it is like a recipe. You have a recipe at home, so you have 1 step, 2nd step, you do it. At the end of the day, you have a well-defined action. Same thing happens here also. So just like a recipe, it produces a replicable result. So once the recipe is there, you can replicate it. Same story is here. So there's a learning curve around for that. So in short, if I have to say around, AI is a game changer, is the hottest topic in technology. I'll see you talk of any subjects around, AI is there now. So when I look from the procurement side, logistics side, supply chain side, this is very much active around. Now, rapid advancement of this has happened, I would say, if you look at the World Economic Forum, where it happens in Geneva every year, this year, this has been the hottest topic. A lot of sessions have happened on this. And majorly, I would say, AI is not something is new. It started from 1950. All the algorithm, formulas, concept were there. But the generative AI, in short called Gen AI, or you could say the ChatGPT is one of them examples. I think this has become the theme of the year now. However, it is still relatively new opportunity for procurements. So procurement function managed uses basically the manual process. Quite a lot of processes are manual and with inefficient and outdated technology. So generative AI, which I said to you, is ChatGPT. It can also do, but this generative AI is nothing but a subset of machine learning. So when I will come to the machine learning, so generative AI is a subset of machine learning. Machine learning is much bigger. It can give you text, it can give you images, it can give you videos, graphic, and synthetic. Actually, we use in our own office also the generative AI last time for our program. So this gives us 2 minutes video of our activities. So this is a great tool, I would say, but not suitable for all activities. I'll explain much more further. Now, the key AI technology which I use is, first thing is machine learning. So the machine learning is a major one, is a set of algorithm. It can recognize what I will say around, if I want to go with that, patterns from past behaviors. You want to say what I did last year. What did I do 2 months back? What did I do 5 years back? It can look at the patterns which you and me do with the time series. This guys can recognize the pattern, give the past behaviors, whatever problem we had faced, and then can leverage to make decisions to make the forecast. So machine learning, I would say, comes on the top. Then there are many subset of this. So what you see, the ChatGPT is one set of this. So machine learning is the major ones, and then within that we have the other ones. The next thing comes with the natural language process. Is also algorithm. So algorithm that can analyze, read, understand human. So the coding when it is done for the formula is based on this. The next thing is robotic process automation. Is a software that allows anyone to put set of instructions for a robot to perform repetitive. This one is used very commonly in most of the warehouses. I've got, let's say, 10,000 pigeonholes for my warehouses. And I tell the computer guys, I have for each SKU a minimum level. If item level goes less than the minimum level, I have a stock of 40 computers in my one place. And I say, guys, my minimum should be 20. The moment it becomes 20, it places the order. And then robotic process automation knows very well which supplier has been approved in advance, what price has been negotiated, it places the order. So we don't need a human element to do that around, and that is being done by many organizations. Particularly in the e-commerce, let's say you're working in a Walmart, having 1.5 million type of SKUs. Humanly very impossible to go and check every shelf, what is the existing level. But computer checks around which are the levels which are going below the minimum level, are touching the minimum level, and automatically places it. But then human role is much more on identifying the minimum level. What should be the batch size? Human role will be to negotiate the prices around it. So the activities of transaction is done through robotic process. Then we have the computer visions. And that is also technology of AI. What does it do? It interprets, understands the visual information from the world. So they are the broad four. And the one, again, I will say generative AI, which is, again, a subset of machine learning. So this is how it goes. Artificial intelligence, machine learning. And then for machine learning, deep learning is a subset of this. And the deep learning we are using for autopilot programs. Like if you've got a car, you've got a plane, you want to have autopilot around. So this can do learning and do much smarter things. So they are the broad range of activities. Now coming back to AI for procurement. So AI can look at the historical data. Same thing we do humanly also. When we say, guys, can you do the forecast for me, what is going to happen next year? My sales people will look into, my marketing people will look at the trend in the past. Then they'll come with some figure on a time series basis. Then they will apply further factors around what is going in the country, what's going in the world in terms of economy. Is economy going up, economy going down? They apply the formulas. If they find, guys, economy is going 8%, I'm okay. But if it goes to 9%, I have to apply extra multiplying factor of 1.2, let's say. So all that parameters we do manually, and we take maybe a week or 10 days. But this computers with AI can do immediately, within minutes around, maybe in hours around. So that depends on the complexity it can do. So AI can look at the historical records, look at the market trends, and even information from suppliers. Let's say if I know for X and Y, I've got, for one item, I've got 20 suppliers, other one, I've got 40 suppliers, and I've got the trend of each supplier, what do they make, what are their prices, the data is available to me, it can interpret. It can also predict when certain item may be out of stock. If I know very well that I'm buying these items from 3 suppliers, 2 suppliers are getting into some difficult problem. They're getting a strike, company is closing down, only one company left over, and their demand is also very high. It gives me all the red alerts in advance. So think of AI as a capable assistant. It's your digital assistant. So it is not something to take over the job around. It is basically assistant to improve your efficiency. So big data plays a sick role. Because the data is not small nowadays. The data is much bigger in terms of velocity, in terms of size, in terms of velocity around, in terms of variety. The data is much bigger. That's why we use the word big. And that big data cannot be managed with small computers around. So you need a bigger machines to handle it. Relevance of AI to procurement. As we said in the beginning, procurement has many complex activities. Normally, I show one of the slides where I show 17 steps from one end, beginning to end. Selection is there, contract negotiation, spend analysis, risk management, our supplier relationship management, all those activities are there. And now these are being done with manual process and human labor. But AI is having the potential to revolutionize the procurement by automating the routine tasks. The strategic functions are not becoming automatic. But we're getting a supporting decision from, prediction from the system. So the strategic function will remain as it is, except it become more smarter. But the operative function. So again, I'm going back, if I divide the procurement into 2 parts, one operative, which is P2P, other one strategic, which you call strategic sourcing or category management. There it is becoming very strategic. So I'm getting much better insights to do my decision. While in the case of operating, I'm able to get out of that routine things, put my energy more on further insights or on the risk management side. So my mindset goes on different thing than just doing the routine things. Now coming back to the application. Strategic sourcing is one. Spend analysis. This is one very good tool, I would say, to do the spend. If I'm doing a spend of $15, $20 billion in a year, and that $20 billion is going into not one place, maybe in 100 countries around. And they're all my branches. And I'm dealing with, let's say, 15,000 type of SKUs, type of item and goods and services. Now to do the spend of those 15,000, descending order, ascending order in terms of risk, it can be done manually, but then it will take ages. So that is what we are looking around. That means spend analysis, supplier management. I'm managing supplier. I've got 15,000 suppliers or 20,000 suppliers. I want to see the performance. So AI will look around the performance of each one, which one is going with a rating of 3 star, one is 4 star, one is 5 star. Those which are less than 3 stars, automatic answers can go to them. The guys, your performance last year was, last quarter was 3. Can you tell us how we can improve it? So that's the one we do it. Demand forecast. So demand forecasting is one of the most challenging things. The days are gone when the information was very static. One big boss will decide that next year we'll increase our turnover by 10%, increase by 10% or 20%. Which product will go up, which will go down? Very difficult. Customers' mindset is changing. The market is very dynamic. So in the process, today you think the guy was very loyal to me, but next year's they get a better pricing, they get a better product around, they leave you. So the demand forecasting is becoming common. Contract management, another complexity. So all of these things AI can easily picture. The benefits, obviously the cost savings, increased efficiencies, improved risk management, and data-driven decision and stronger relationship. Now coming back to the machine learning. As I said to you, machine learning is a subset of AI. AI is a big one, mother, that enables the systems to learn from data. It survives on data. It eats the data, it bites the data, and then come with a solution. You and me also do the same thing. If the system is not there, you and me also will collect the data, analyze it, but same thing it does. You and me also have formulas around. Same thing I give to AI. I draw the flow chart. It goes on an iterative process. ML can analyze historical procurement data, identify the pattern. You and me all have done in the past also the patterns. We draw the dot, we do the time series, predict the future. If I draw the chart around on the time series, then you can say, yes, in 2025, we will do this. It's all data-driven. It's not the human judgment alone. It's a data-driven decision. And this is what technology enhances various aspects of procurement. Now, this again, within ML, I've got predictive analytics. So that means ML I'm using for predicting analytics. Analytics are done, analyzing the data, but at the end of the day, I'm predicting what? Demand forecasting. Again, I'm looking at my spend. I've got 10,000 varieties of item. Which item I'm going to spend this year more? Which one less? Accordingly, I can tell my suppliers, I'm going to buy this item less, but this item I need more. So based on that, you can renegotiate and come to cost reduction. Supplier management. Price forecast. So I have got the database of commodities. So the commodity prices are there with me, copper, aluminum, silver, whatever you call. And then I know when the trend is going up or went down. And based on that, system can predict, Krishan, instead of waiting for 3 months, buy now. So that is what's going to happen. Contract management, risk management, and last but not the least is sustainability. Everyone is talking of sustainability. This is another hot topic. Like AI, sustainability is another hot topic. Those companies which are exporting abroad, and the target date obviously is coming around 2030. I mean, otherwise 2050, but if you don't do by 2030, after that, there may be carbon tax. People are certainly moving in this direction, including the service industry. So don't think the sustainability is only for manufacturing. Sustainability is everywhere. Even you and me, when we use the computers, we create the carbon footprint. You and me, when we use the AI and we have a lot of servers, We have carbon footprint. So prescriptive, again, analytics could be descriptive type. It gives you the insight what has happened in the past, which we do today manually, but now AI can help us. Predictive, so it can predict the trend. It can prescribe the analytics. So it can give you the choices as well, but not the decision making. The decision part has to be done by you people. Another one, software, which is again NLP, which is also part of AI. So what it does around is the text analysis. It can analyze the text, then identify the patterns. In the text, it can also analyze the sentiments. What is this guy going to tell me? Is it happy, not happy? Is it growth? Is it not growth? All those sentiments are not. You can analyze. You're trying to negotiate with someone. The guy is writing you emails back and forth. You can see the sentiments there also. One is that you can read it, or the system can, NLP can read it and tell you what's going on. Named entity recognition. Part of the speech tagging. Machine translation. So it can translate from one language to another. You might be speaking in English. Other guy is sitting on the French speaking. They're listening in French. The third guy is listening in Spanish. Within the country, we've got so many multiple languages. We go on. Speech recognition is another. So speech recognition means it can convert the spoken language into text. So again, the Zoom also does use AI. So whatever we guys are discussing and talking, it gets into the text. Now, another one which is again popular. So they're all part of AI. I'm talking ML, NLP, generative AI, which is like a chat GPT. Now here chatbots have come. Virtual assistant. So all of you, I know you must be using the bots around in your website to answer the queries from the customer. So any queries related to procurement policies. Somebody wants to know about your policies around what is the type of terms and conditions you use around. Are you going, what are the criteria you take for selection? Instead of your person answering it, your website can answer it. So we also had in our website, so this is where people are moving into chatbots and virtual assistants. Provide status updates. Suppose you want to know about the updates on the purchase orders. If you have a smart system, it can connect and tell you what are the status on the purchase. Natural language query handling around. So suppose you're speaking in any languages, it can pick up and answer you back in the same. Real-time order status. Routine tasks can be automated. So this chatbots and virtual assistant are there. Now the key areas, again, as I said to you, spend is the first one. Risk identification, chatbots we talked around, contract management, and manual process. So let me walk through with you all the ones which are the software we can use. For contract management, we can use NLP. The complete life cycle from end to end, it can manage the software. If I want to do the risk management part, I can use Internet Web Crawl, which is nothing but is like a web spider. It's a software. So this software of AI, I can use it to do this. Purchasing parts, I can do the bots. Payments, machine learning. Spend analysis, I can do with machine learning. Supplier identification with the big data. Strategic sourcing, I can do with RPA. So these are the broad ones in this way. Now let me go to the next one. This gives you the biggest scenario of procurement processes. One at the management level, the top management level. The top management level, the procurement strategy, this has no role as of now. You're developing your own strategy, which way I should do. Where should I find my new supply sources? Whatever software I should buy around. So all strategy level is nothing to do with AI. Organization and process development. You're developing new, again, operating process around, or you're trying to do the new structure of the people, or it has nothing to do. But employee management, I've got a staff of, let's say, 100 people in procurement and supply chain. I want to manage them. Which area I can see the duplication? To some extent, AI can be used up to 25% for this activity. Then we come to the core process. This is the strategic at the management top level. Core process. You're doing a technology and category strategy. You want to categorize your item. I've got at 10,000 SKU. Now I want to categorize. I've got 8 category managers. I want to categorize which item falls under what category, which can be easily done if I've got the codification. If I've got procurement taxonomy, or if I got like United Nations, UNSPSC, which I developed in good old days. So if I have got each and every item codified, then based on the family, based on the segment, it can categorize automatically. 50% it is successful, 50% human element is required. Because there will be some items which are in the borderline. It's not very clear which category they belong. So you need human elements, and 50% I can say through RPA AI solution. Source to contract, S2C. So S2C also, I have to do the selection. I have to do the market analysis. I have to collect the data around. Some activity I can do through AI, but finally, when I'm trying to negotiate and final agreements around, so I would say 75% could be done through AI and 25% human element is required. Project procurement. So there's an operational procurement, there's a project procurement. Operational means you're working in a factory. Every day, 10,000 pieces have to go. And same item you're repeatedly buying, like in auto, pharma, any company around. But then there are projects. For a project, I'm doing a project in X country, Y country on electrification. I'm doing a project on education, project on health sector. So you have those projects, and then the procurement is related to project. So in those cases, also AI can fit. Last is P2P. So P2P is the one where it has a big role to play. But that again, one may look academically, okay, but it depends whether the sourcing team, strategic sourcing team have identified the suppliers for all. If they have made a long-term agreements for every item, then are you got a catalog item? If those things have been fixed up, then P2P can. So we have in procurement, as I said to you, 2 parts, 2 tiers. One tier is P2P, other one is source to contract. So source to contract is the one, but P2P certainly can be to a lot extent automated, subject to source to contract. People have identified suppliers for every item. Prices have been negotiated. Supplier management, you're managing supplier in terms of performance, in terms of relationship. 25% human touch, 75% AI can do. Support process, supplier risk management, contract and catalog management, because catalog management takes a big time. I remember the time when I was doing in the US, so we had a catalog, around 100 items. And same way I did in one of the factory also, where we had a lot of routine item for the production. So we had a catalog for everything. Prices were fixed, and then one team was negotiating it, but those activity through AI. So RPA could be used easily for this. Because I have negotiated the agreement, I have a catalog, and catalog either could be managed by us or could be managed by the supplier. Prices are also negotiated, but it can be done RPA. Then we have performance management. You want to check the performance on quality, delivery, quantity, price, performance. So those KPIs, you want computer to do officer. Here it is shown 50%, and I have done in 2008 itself in the US. I took 5 parameters. And computers having information on price, quality, delivery, quantity. And the last was only the what is the after sales performance, customer report. So that was the only component which was done manually. Somebody has to add it. The rest was all picked from the computer. Anytime I could get the data around, guys, which one is getting the score of 5 stars, 4 star, 3 star, 2 star, 1 star. So this is how we look at AI around. Spend classification, the game starts from here. So accurate spend data is foundation. If garbage in, garbage out. If the quality of the data is poor, classification is poor, taxonomy is poor, and you put them into the wrong categories around, information goes wrong. So spend analytics is very, very important. So this is where if you have the name, you have the GL number, you have this one, it can segregate those items into particular categories. You might have 10 categories, 10 category managers, but item which you're buying may be 10,000. So you have to segregate each item into those categories. You could do manually also, but computers can also do it. Sourcing part. So sourcing part again, we do the request for proposal. Every time we make a request for proposal, we make RFI, we make RFP. But now, with the help of generative AI or Chatbots, I can easily do this. I have to spell out what are my key changes. It takes the template and converts the template with my requirements and gives me the revised RFP. So Chatbots is wonderful for making RFP to make the contract, depending on the risk. Because one size doesn't fit all. I'm dealing with supplier from X country, Y country, Z country. My risks are different. I have the templates, but now template has to be changed depending on the size of the contract, depending on the supplier. So this one can do Chatbots by putting those patterns. AI will check what suppliers have the accreditation and certification. This is the one for searching the suppliers, very simple one, using ML, machine learning. Machine learning, again, part of AI. Simple thing, it says, you have got a suppliers, whatever, 10,000, 20,000 on the world in the database. You remember the days, good old days, we used to have yellow pages. But now I think people have come in US, we have Thomas Register, which covers around million suppliers. Thomas Register. Then we have Compass. Compass from Europe, Compass from Malaysia, Compass from South Africa, except India, I didn't see the Compass around. So Compass are there in many ways. It covers all possible good suppliers, category-wise, code-wise. So you make a search, speaker manufacturer. You're not looking for a distributor. You spell it out, speaker manufacturer, loudspeaker, and speaker. Then obviously you are given a constraint. It should be North America. So the search process starts with the help of AI. If you and me have to do around, and if I've got 10,000 suppliers, first thing I have to check which are manufactured. I segregate them out. Then I would say which are from North America. Again, segregate out. So this is done very smartly in this. And once it is done, it comes out from millions to 90 potential suppliers. And this is where your efforts have been cut down. So in the process, now you can focus on this. Then you add extra criteria on top of it, then again segregate. So in the process, it's much more holistic, much quicker, more efficient. And time is coming that people are building up the database, and we also did. If anybody wants to see, they can go to the ungm.org. What we did around was any supplier wants to do business. Our business was around $20 billion a year. Any want to do business with the UN family, they have to register. All their items will have to be given UNSPSC number. So from the UNSPSC number, if I'm a manufacturer of generator, my name, company name will be there. Then all the product which I make will be given the UNSPSC. So the coding was given around. So whenever the need came from any part of the world around and say, guys, for these items, who are the suppliers? It picks it up. Then we'll say, guys, which are the supplier, small scale, medium scale, large scale, depending on the turnover. Again, segregation. Again, I'm looking for supplier from East. I'm looking from Western country, or I'm looking for supplier from Asian country, or from African country. I could segregate that. So those activities can be quickly done with AI. But then you really needed data in that format. If data is not classified, AI can't do anything. Smarter supply search. So now let's look at the P2P. P2P, I'm starting from the requisition. I'm making the PO processing part. PO acknowledgement. Now supplier has got the supplier name is already there. Approved supplier, assuming. And then the price is also fixed. The PO is made, which can be automated fully. And then the PO acknowledgement from the supplier. Then I've got a category management. Again, I also got a category of that. So catalog management is there, which I'm updating on a regular basis. So catalog helps me to do the guided buy. What you and me do, even on the Amazon, is a guided buy. You want to buy something, you go online, you look at 10 suppliers and place the order. So this becomes my guided buy. Then I've got invoice processing and losses. So you can imagine around it has a big impact on some activities around. Catalog management, certainly a big impact. On this activity, big impact. Other ones, medium and small. So P2P, once it is fully automated, it is giving big benefits at many ways. Now, strategic sourcing. Here I need NLP. So here I use NLP to collect the data on vendors. As you might be seeing, I'm using the word ML, NLP, ChatGPT. All have different applications, but they are within the family of AI. So the programs will be made based on that. So you and me have not to worry on that part around. It's the programmer will do the programming based on NLP. Other one will do the coding based on other things. So that we can find the forecast, the prices. If I'm buying copper, I'm buying copper cables. 70% of the copper cable price is copper. And now my system is connected with London Metal Exchange. Every day it gives me the pattern. Where it is going up or down, I have a production. I'm using 20 tons, 40 tons per day. I'll see, guys, okay, the price is going up. What is the trend? What it happens? So NLP gives me the forecast prices. Otherwise, you and me have to sit down and look around. So NLP gives me on my system, alert system, identify, analyze, prospective and new suppliers. And if there are got 50 suppliers or 40 suppliers in my list, I can also see their relationship with them. Am I happy with the supplier? Not happy? So it can predict me which supplier I should go for. Contract discussions become easier, more productive, because you have a complete perspective of past spending. Supplier compliance, is supplier complying in the past or not, and their performance around, and critical data. So the primary objective, if I look around in AI and procurement support rather than replace the procurement. So it gives you better insights. Earlier we were doing in strategic sourcing, the meeting will be fixed. We will only know how much we are going to buy, but we had no data on performance much. How much is the demand in the market around? What changes are happening around? So now since we have insights are better, we are not going with our past judgment around, so we are going with insights, so the results are better. Invoice data extractions, obviously all the payments which you're doing, accounts payable team today is an extraction of invoice data. Now, contract part is another one, contract analysis. So the contract part has got these 5 steps. Contract authoring. Contract authoring can be done by ChatGPT, which is a subset of ML. review and negotiation and approvals and execution part. Management also can be done if I can program the whole thing contract. I can spell it out which are the milestones, what defines the milestones. Once the milestone is done, automatically it can push to payment, renewal of contract amendments. So all these activities could be automated to a large extent. Demand forecasting. Again, AI and ML are the keys to obtaining the precise business insights on the demand part. The power of AI in demand forecasting, I would say the data analysis. It uncovers the pattern. It gives me the predictive analysis. It gives me the demand sense and segmentation of customer base. Dynamic pricing, the pricing which are changing around. So successful, used by many e-commerce companies. So this is here, again, demand forecasting. I want the historical records. I will not go only with the historical record. I will also look at the related data. I'm making X product, Y product around. I'm an auto company, a pharma company. I know my actual sales. I know inventory. I know this. But I want to see what are the other, which factor makes the difference. Temperature makes a difference. Weather makes a difference. Events makes a difference. Exchange rate becomes a difference. Today, our exchange rate is in par, let's say, with US dollars or any other currency. And if our currency becomes weaker, then we have to shell out more money in our money. So certainly, this could affect the forecasting. If our currency becomes stronger, sales may pick up. So all the things we have to look around, all the parameters, and then we get out. So machine learning is used for this purpose. Now, case studies, if I take only two very small ones I've taken up. AI has been a transformative in contract now across various industries. So here's a real world example of a service sector. And this company was dealing with professional services. And company was facing a lot of challenge in managing vast number of contracts. It's one of the top 5 consulting companies. So they have diverse terms and conditions. Worldwide, they are visible. In every country, they are there. The number of contracts must be running in 6-digit or 7-digit, touching the end of it. And terms and conditions are also different for each one. Ensuring compliance, optimizing contract terms across multiple clients. The clients could be in India, clients could be in Zimbabwe, clients could be in US, clients could be anywhere. And within the country, also different cities are now. So contract terms were there. So this is what they did was, they came with a solution of contract analytic tools. So contract analytic tools, it can do Excel. Here, ChatGPT can work very well. AI-powered contract, even NLP can also work a lot. NLP can also extract the data, key terms and conditions. Particularly when you're working with terms and conditions in their languages around, French, Spanish, English, or maybe the local language. NLP comes into the picture. So risk and compliance monitoring. So this is a typical case they say, when I have some data on how much saving they brought around, it was really worth it. So in short, millions of contract terms and conditions, countries, each country, they're visible. So they came with analytic tools. Risk compliance, the risk compliance is different in each country. The criteria which India has got different, Philippines has got different, other countries are different. So all compliance monitoring as per the local laws they were trying to build. Another one, I take the example of a manufacturing industry. ABC company, and the case study AI enhanced contract map. Here also is a contract. People have gone much more on the contract side, needed to manage complex supplier contracts, ensure compliance with the local law, strict regulatory requirements. If tomorrow the compliance comes on sustainability, it's already started. So AI solution, contract management system implemented AI-driven contract management system. Using what? Machine learning and NLP. So machine learning, NLP, again from the language wise, machine learning wise, it collects the data, analyzes the data, and processes. Supplier performance monitoring around. So that way it was able to give real-time insights and alerts to where we are going to have problem. So you are managing the contract. Ultimately, the success of every contract is supplier performance. And if you got, again, millions of contracts around and suppliers are not performing the way you want, one is ditching you, one is having a problem in transportation, one has a problem with something, you get insights in it. So this is what two big companies I will talk around, which are visible in most of the world. So they did this. Challenges and consideration. I would say around the first thing is the data quality. And integration with ERP. It's not easy. You might have an ERP and the system you have AI now. First thing you have to see whether I can integrate with my ERP. You may have a SAP, you may have Oracle, you may have something. But then you have to buy the AI software which can be integrated. So don't compromise on that. Technology and infrastructure. The cost part of the technology. It could vary depending on the size and the type of AI you're looking at. $10,000 to $1 million. The cost part, scalability part. How many people are using around? Today, maybe 1,000 people. Now you want to expand it to use 10,000 people. Is scalability feasible or not? Expertise and training. So people have to be trained. Privacy and security. So when we get into this and the software is from another country, the problem becomes data security. So are you able to keep the data within your country so data doesn't go out, nobody can hack it? So that also is a problem. Obviously, change nobody wants. But if you don't change, you become stagnant. There's no choice. But human being as we are, we don't want change because this affects our functions, which is always for the good, those who want to change, resistance and disruption. Ethical part, we're doing supplier selection with the help of AI. We develop the formulas. And that formulas give weightage for X and Y and Z. You give 30% for the price, 20% for technical, another 40% for sustainability or some other parameter. But that might be biased towards one supplier. It may not be fair. So ethical part means the formula is very fair, formula is very transparent and legal transparent. Performance monitoring and evaluation. So the role of data which we get starts from IoT. You and me are like a human being. Where do we get our data? Through eyes, through ears. So ears and eyes gives us the data to the head. And that's what we massage and then action is done. An action tells me, guys, somebody is behind you, hit someone. So my arm lifts up like a robotic process automation. Same thing happening here. So what we are doing around is we got the data around through the system. It might be coming through the purchase order, might be coming through the requisition, might be coming from the complaints from the supplier. All possible data are coming. Now those data are being segmented in different boxes. So once we have got the data around, then we take action whether we have to do automation or some other action we can do. So now the data excellence part, I think, is the key. I'm moving a little faster. I'll just take 5 minutes more. This is key to making AI more. There are only 2 moments that plays in a piece of a data slide. When it is created and the moment it is used. When you created data, ensure, I remember the time when we developed our coding system, people will just put some XYZ. We had 8-digit codes. They'll put some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so the system doesn't stop it. So you created trouble there itself. So at the time of entering the data and once you use it. Those who create the data don't use it. That's also a problem. The person who's creating is not using it, so those who use it have no means to alter it. Possible data come from where? Purchase orders, ERP, tactical. Again, you have many things around Excel and this. Data also come from outside, like companies which are maintaining a lot of benchmarking information. Third-party proprietary, public internet data. So there are many data which are available. If I want to see, like London Metal Exchange data are available. If you become the member of them, I get the full data, all on commodities part. So value of AI in procurements have wide range of data sources. Transaction, contracts, files, catalogs, they're all part of my list. So the quality of data entering the system, the classification of data, and the volume to be taken. So this is where we want everybody should classify, use procurement taxonomy. I'm not saying that everybody has to use UNSPSC, but develop your own taxonomy. You can take the help of it. It doesn't cost you anything. So you have the UN taxonomy available. Implementing AI, very first thing I would say, objective and goals. Why do you want to go for it? You may be medium scale, large scale, whatever company you are. What are your objectives? Develop a strategy, roadmap. Without roadmap, no chance. Prepare data and infrastructures. Train and educate your people. Full-scale implementations. Maintain and optimize. Compliance and ethics part. Ethics mean, again, data privacy. It's a very hot subject nowadays. Any action you do, data privacy is these ones. Transparency and no biasism in the formulas. All algorithms are formulas. So those formulas should not give us support to X and Y. Today, when we do humanly, somebody is watching us. But in the formulas, once it is built in, the organization can effectively integrate AI into the procurement process, driving improvements in efficiency, accuracy, and decision-making. So with this, I would say some of the software names I can tell which are available, but there are many now. So don't go with this. There are many around which has come up. So for strategic sourcing, for contract management, there are many softwares available. Now in India also many small-scale companies have started around developing. Future of AI, undoubtedly AI-driven. Continues to evolve, but keep in mind, AI is a tool, not a replacement for human expertise. It's trying to make our job smarter, which earlier we were not getting the insights. We were going with our gut feeling. Today, you're not going with the gut feeling. You get the right data to convince yourself that this is the way to do. System also predicts you something. You say, yes, I agree with it. Ways to augment human capability. So objective of AI is to augment your capability, not to take it up. Same thing happened in the good old days in production. When computerized machine came around, idea was to improve quality. Earlier we were saying, no, this will take away my job. But now we see, guys, if I do with the old fashioned, I have a quality problem. So same case here, I get better insights. Better insights mean better health. So this is where the change, I think, normally is again from the Cotter's very well-known author. If you want to make enemies, try to change. But sad thing is, without change, you are stagnant. So you have to come, if you are going into this direction, you have to create a climate for it. So there are 8 steps around. I would say everybody has to follow it before they go and put money into this. 24 is going to be year of efficiency and automation, I would call around.